It's that time of the month again. Time for a pint. So I was hoping to do a spectacular drone shot at the start of this video, but the drone moved in the wrong place and pretty nearly lost my finger as I caught it. But anyway, I'm undeterred and we're going for a pint. Shannon, what are you recommending for beer?
Right, my recommendation for what we have on right now is this bad boy right here. It's the Wild Child Brewery.
What's it called?
It's the Wild Child Brewery.
Equinox.
Equinox, yeah. So it's quite strong, 5.2%. It's very hoppy indeed.
Right.
If you'd like a little taste first. He is a great brewer. He's local to Leeds as well. He's done some really good stuff. I'm really excited that we got it in here. He also does a really nice pineapple milkshake pale beer, which is again really good quality.
Shannon, I'm going for a pint of the Equinox.
Yeah?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Hey, did you miss me? I'm back for another one. I am in the Hop. It is a really nice pub, very popular in the city of Leeds. It's just around the corner from our office near Round Foundry Media Centre. Shannon lined me up with a pint of Equinox, which I've already tasted. I'm going to taste again on camera so you can get my opinion on it. I have to tell you already, it's pretty good, but here goes the official testing. Oh, 5%, proper session ale, highly recommended. So what should we talk about today? Well, today I'm going to talk about the key reasons why it's okay to admit that you're out of work. So we interviewed a really experienced, really professional, very mature sales guy the other day. Comes in, sits in front of me and consultant I'm training at the moment, and he was at very great pains to explain to me a couple of key things. Firstly, that he wasn't in any hurry whatsoever to find a new job. I'm not in a hurry to find a new job, I'm not in a hurry to find a new job, I'm not in a hurry to find a new job. Well, okay, my immediate reaction as somebody who's been doing it 20 years and got a little bit of training in these things and I read a few books on it is to think, seemed pretty keen to tell me all about that. And he went on about how he'd got lots of commission money in the bank, really keen to tell us that he wasn't in a hurry to find a new job. In fact, if anything, he was at great pains to tell us about how he was going to be really picky about his next job, and he wasn't going to get out of bed for anything less than a 20% increase in his basic salary. And this particular little diatribe from the guy, Christ, it was worse than a rant of mine. It went on for a significant part of the interview that took place with us with this particular candidate. So the young consultant I'm training at the time does absolutely the right thing. He goes back to his desk, he sits down. I say to him, what are you going to do on this? And he said, well, it doesn't really seem to me like the guy's buying. I don't think he's really, at this point in time, ready to find a new job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick hour's work, have a look at who we've got in the immediate live client portfolio, but I don't think it would be the wisest thing to do to start throwing a boatload of resource at this as a project. So I'll have a quick look, see what we've got that might be immediately brilliant for him, and then after that I'll keep in touch with the guy and see how we get on. But outside of that, I can't really justify, given how happy he is in his current role, how much money he's got stacked up, and how he's not in a hurry to find a new job, given what he said, it's not really worth me throwing a lot of resource at this, Johnny. I couldn't disagree with the lad. So imagine everybody's surprise when we get a ring in from his employers 4 days later telling us that they fired the guy 8 weeks earlier. And at the time I had to explain to the young consultant involved, don't worry about it, these things happen, it's not the first time I've seen this happen. But as the young lad that I'm training at the time said, it's damaged my relationship with him really. I kind of don't feel like there's a trust here. His opening interaction with me is based on an enormous porcupine. And if anything, I just feel like now, given the way he's treated me, he and I are in the realms of a transactional relationship rather than perhaps one in which I really want to go out and bust a gut for the guy to try and find him his next job. Yeah, let's get it right. Any sales professional or business professional worth his salt is going to be very careful with a sales campaign in those circumstances. And I mean, let's look at a scenario. Let's just pretend any of you have got 2 deals on the go. One's with a client that's got budget, a live project, is ready to rock and roll, has made it very clear that that project is taking place, and then another one that's not sure whether they got budget, not sure that they're ready to rock and roll, is highly price sensitive, and is already, before even the campaign has taken place, it's screwing you pretty aggressively on price. I think any smart business person, doesn't matter whether they're a world-class sales professional or not, is going to immediately qualify and think very, very hard about which of those two they would allocate resource to as a sales campaign. And I'd be amazed if anybody disagreed with me and said, well, I wouldn't allocate resource to the one that was budgeted, ready to rock and roll, keen to buy, versus the one that was price sensitive. And I'm sure a few people will have a few different arguments on the matter, but I can't blame the consultant involved for having done what he did. So the consultant involved, he's young, he's learning the game. He says to me, why has he done it? I tried to explain to him, I said, look, sometimes people do it because they think that admitting that they're out of work denigrates their market value, when actually, in many respects, it doesn't. And I want to be emphatic here. Being out of work doesn't denigrate your market value. In fact, the two things are completely independent of one another. If you're out of work, it doesn't change what you're worth in the market at large. Your market value as a salesperson, and we could talk about this on another video blog on another day, is a determinant of a whole bunch of other things, none of which is the fact that you're in between positions. It's to do with your skills, your abilities, what you know, what you don't, your track record, your achievement to target. You know, your market value as a sales professional is determined by different things. It's like building blocks of equity in your house. Do you live in a nice house, then, you know, or in a nice area, then you've got greater market value in terms of your ability to get a job. Do you live near nice schools, then your house has greater market value. And in the same way, are you in cybersecurity? Well, then you've got ridiculous market value, whether, with all due respect, you're talentless or not. Do you live in the public sector? Or bad luck, there's not a lot of money getting spent in public sector, so it's going to denigrate your market value. Do you sell to finance? That might have a little bit of a bearing on what your current market value is. But nothing has any bearing when it comes to being out of work on your market value. Now, the other thing is, and I think something people forget when they're out of work, or possibly don't really realise, is a lot of clients are quite lazy. You know, if you gave a customer a choice between hiring a candidate for whom it was an extremely complex hire where the guy's got multiple things on the go, where he's got to deal with the fact that the guy's going to go through a difficult resignation process, versus a candidate who flat out has the skills to do the job and is immediately available and can start next week. This is the guy who might have a 3-month notice period or a 1-month notice period and an employer that's going to be heartbroken when he's gone. A smart client's going to hire the guy that's actually immediately available. In the same way, an estate agent wouldn't want to sell a house or get involved in a house chain, or none of us want to get involved in moving a house where the chain is extremely complex. It's an awful lot easier to, for want of a better word, and I don't like to talk about people in this way, but it's an awful lot easier to move that product. So it doesn't help you to say you're not out of work when you are. If anything, it helps you an awful lot. You're immediately available, and it gives you a competitive advantage in the market rather than a disadvantage. Let's get it right. An 8-week delay in starting a candidate, or a 12-week delay in starting a candidate, is a quarter of missed target. No customer of ours wants that. When they come to us, it's nearly always an urgent vacancy. I would say 9 out of 10 vacancies are urgent. Clients will go, got to do this, already into the year. It's very rare people get headcount with a rolling start into a new year. Very rare. So by saying that you're in work, you're not in a hurry to find a job, that you've got a 3-month notice period, and that you're not going to get out of bed for less than a 20% pay rise in order to perhaps pander to your own ego, or to perhaps create a perception that you're a rare commodity that's going to be difficult to place, actually is completely disadvantageous. There is nothing wrong with being out of work. That's aside from the fact that it's a bit cheesy and deceitful, really. A bit 80s. You really have to do it. And if you're lying about that, as a consultant, I was always trained by my original mentors in recruitment. If the candidate lies about that, what else is he lying to you about? And therefore, how much can you gauge the quality of your relationship as a result? And therefore, would you not be better off focusing on a candidate with whom you've got a better and more open and honest relationship, given that you work on a no-win, no-fee basis? So in conclusion, come clean, be honest. If you're out of work, tell your recruiter. We had a situation recently where a candidate got himself into a little bit of a pickle by saying that he wasn't in a hurry to find a job, by saying that he was still in work when he wasn't. And actually, that created a challenge for the guy, because actually he was in between positions, and it would have suited him an awful lot more to be back at work an awful lot more quickly. So that's me. I'm in the hop. You'll notice the 3 plasters on my fingers here. That's because I took a little bit of drone footage as B-roll for today's vlog on the way here. The drone nearly flew into a wall. I had to reach out and catch it, and nearly lost 3 of my fingers. So I'd like to thank Amy at Round Foundry for patching me up. If you like the videos, do me a favour. Lots of people come back to me and say, saw your video vlog, really loved it, it's really great. Therefore, if you do, what I need you to do is something. 1, hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you get the next one and you definitely get to see it. 2, share it. Only takes a second. If you think it's good content, that it's a little bit more original, do me a favour and share it. I'd really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything, but what it does tell us as a business is that it's worth it. It costs us money to shoot the vlog. It's half a day of my time normally to put it all together, edit it, get it over to an editor, pay them, etc., etc. So we'd really, really appreciate it if you'd hit the share button on LinkedIn and just push it out to your own network of people, which would improve the views, improve the reach, and so on. I'd really appreciate that. Anyway, I'm in the hop. I'm drinking a pint of Yukonot, which I've got to say, at the moment in season 2, this is the leader in the clubhouse, as we say. Thanks for watching. I will see you again next month.